This is 5 things we love and 5 things we hate about the 2025 Polaris Xpedition ADV Northstar Edition. It's the company's unapologetic grab for a big share of the overlanding market. It's got seating for 5, lockable enclosed storage, a banging stereo, and it can accommodate a rooftop tent. Polaris built this thing to convince people who would otherwise go overlanding in a truck to leave their street vehicle at the trailhead and take this thing into the boonies instead. And this package makes a really compelling case for itself. In short, it's a beast, and for 2025, Polaris has made a really important update. This thing is 20 decibels quieter inside than the outgoing one. The 2024 Polaris Xpedition was loud enough that you needed ear protection to drive it for any length of time. So now it's time to go over the 5 things we love and the 5 things we hate about it, and then we'll talk about who it's for, how much it costs, and whether you should put one in your garage. Let's dive right in. The first thing we love about the 2025 Xpedition is that it's quieter in here now. With the engine running in a 2024 Polaris Xpedition XP model, we measured 115 decibels in the interior. That's as loud as a rock concert or an air horn blowing or something that is just not comfortable to stand beside. Now, 85 decibels isn't what you would call quiet, but you can at least have a conversation in here now. The noise isn't a big deal just because it's more comfortable to be in a quieter rig. Loud noises are a safety concern. If you spend any length of time near 120 decibel sound, you're going to be exhausted by the end of the day. And that's no good when you're trying to deal with technical obstacles on a trail or set up a campsite or make decisions on the fly. So the quieter it is, the safer it is, and you can focus on navigating, driving, and enjoying your time away. Thing number 2 that we love about the Xpedition is that the interior is huge and it can be configured for whatever adventure you can imagine. There's seating for 5 people inside, and the rear bench can be split 60-40, revealing a 28-inch deep flat load floor. And if that's not enough, the back of the back seat can be folded flat so that you now have a 70-inch deep cargo area that is almost 4 feet wide. The machine's total payload is just over 1,000 pounds, which means it's an honest-to-goodness half-ton. That's enough space to keep all your camping gear, your coolers, your kitchen equipment, maybe a spare tire, safe, out of the elements, and locked away. That level of storage is something we haven't seen in a UTV before, and it shows that Polaris really did their homework. Instead of just building something that's vaguely SUV shaped and slapping on an overlanding badge, they actually made sure that this thing would be useful to people who were using it for what they designed it for. Okay, thing number 3 that we love is the chassis. We talked about it when we drove it at the press launch, and it remains excellent. It's a ground-up design from Polaris. It's not based on anything else they make, and it's super stiff and composed, even for as heavy as this rig is. Part of that is because it has Fox QS3 shocks on it, and hauling the whole thing down, you get the same brakes as are on the Razor Pro Series and the Ranger XD 1500. These are 5-lug automotive-style hubs, and they are great. Even beating across the desert at 45 miles an hour, this thing didn't really rattle or squeak, and it was totally composed. We love it. Number 4, this is the Northstar Edition, which means it has a fully enclosed cab with glass windows all around and HVAC inside. It also has air conditioning and a heater, which means you can get it warm on a cold morning or cool yourself off on a hot day. That makes riding safer, it makes it more comfortable, and it's going to extend how long you can stay on the trail. So we should say that glass windows probably seem like a low bar to clear at the $50,000 price point, but look at it this way. There are rigs in the $40,000 range that don't come with that. They just leave you open to the elements. In fact, the cheaper Polaris Xpedition doesn't come with a windshield or door glass. So yeah, it's nice to have. Number 5, as with all top-tier Polaris side-by-sides, the technology suite is fantastic. You get Ride Command Plus, you get a big JBL stereo that's powered by the Ride Command. You can connect between other rigs with Ride Command. You can navigate more than 1 million miles of mapped trails, and you get front and rear cameras. Now, while we're talking about the technology suite, we're gonna transition into some of the things we don't like about this rig, and the first thing is this backup camera for a $50,000 rig is unacceptable. It's laggy, it's delayed, and it has the video quality of a CCTV camera. So now that we've dipped our toe into the 5 things we hate about it, let's dive right in with number 1. It's the passenger side rear compression adjustment knob. It's like sticking your hand into a bucket of hot knives. The exhaust pipe is here, the exhaust heat shield is here, and if you go to adjust this after you've been driving for a while, you're gonna get a burn. Now, it's not a big deal if the rig is cold and you wanna reach up there and adjust your knobs before you take off, but who does that? You adjust suspension on the fly. That's what suspension adjustment is for, and if it's inconvenient and or painful to do, why is it there? Fox Live Valve would be a huge solve for this. I don't know how you would reroute the exhaust, but Polaris, please figure something else out. Number 2, we were gonna save this one till last, but the hell with it. It's the cost. This thing is $44,999 before taxes, before destination charges, before you even look at the accessories catalog. So by the time you're out the door of your local dealer, you're going to easily be into the $50,000 range. So for those of you who blow up our comment section every week saying, you can get a Jeep for that much money. My Toyota was 10 grand. You might be right on this one. Is this thing worth 50 grand? Only you can make that call, but $50,000 is a lot of money no matter who you are. Number 3. This winch is too small. This rig weighs the best part of 3,000 pounds ready to roll, and this winch is rated for 4,500. Now, anyone who's been off-roading will tell you, you want a winch that has double the capacity that your rig weighs, and this is not that. Then you start adding camping gear and people and all kinds of stuff, and you quickly are going to stress this winch out. It may be fine once or twice to pull the rig out of a sticky situation, but for goodness sake, you want more capacity than you need, and this ain't it. Come on, Polaris, give us a 6,000 pound winch. Number 4 is the fuel economy. Polaris's website touts a 200+ mile range for the Xpedition, and frankly, that's not gonna happen. Now, when we were in Arizona driving this thing, we'd had a 120-mile loop, and granted, we were getting after it, but we barely made it to the end of that ride, and the fuel light was flashing when we got there. That means that even if you were taking it easy, you're looking at 150 to 170 at the outside. Now, that's not too shabby, but it ain't more than 200. And if the idea is to get way out into the boonies, you're gonna want more range than that. Quite apart from that, it means you're gonna have to have at least 2 jerry cans with you, and there's really nowhere to store them. Are you really gonna ride around with 10 gallons of gas in an enclosed cab? No. So you need a rack. So you gotta go buy a rack. And again, that costs money on top of something that's already pretty expensive. Number 5, to round it out, is the engine. The Polaris ProStar 2 parallel twin. It's not a bad mill exactly, but it is definitely overmatched here. When was the last time you drove a 3,000 pound car with a 114 horsepower engine? We're gonna guess it was in the mid-2000s, and that car probably had a Mitsubishi badge on it. And it wasn't fast. So this rig, yeah, it's pokey, especially off the line. Once you're up and moving, it's a little bit better, but still the engine is lacking. Fortunately, we've got a solution in mind, and Polaris already builds it. It is the 3-cylinder engine in the Ranger XD 1500. That engine is silky smooth, it's super torquey, most importantly, it's quiet. It has way more than enough power to move this thing around, and it's attached to a steel belt CVT, which means you get all the durability you want in a utility rig. This thing has a rubber belt transmission. It's Polaris's traditional PVT continuously variable, and it's fine, but with a heavy load, we think you're gonna stress that rubber belt. Again, Polaris, you make a better solution, put it in here. To us, that is a no-brainer. Okay, so those are the 5 things we love and the 5 things we hate about the Polaris Xpedition ADV 5. That leads us to the important question, who is this rig for? Well, this is a fantastic recreation utility rig for anybody with a couple of kids who wants to introduce them to the great outdoors, introduce them to wheeling without the discomfort of a rickety old open side-by-side. It's also a fantastic machine if you have access to acres and acres of BLM land. This is a great weekend getaway rig. But even if BLM access isn't your reality, this thing is a fantastic off-roader with comfort and convenience for days, and it will outwheel your Wrangler any day of the week. Pick the trail. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the comments section. Tell us what we're wrong about. Tell us what we're right about. Tell us how much you love me. Then hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. And then head over to UTVDriver.com 5 days a week. We got a buyer's guide on this thing. We've got news. We've got reviews. We got all sorts of nonsense. And we're on all the social media channels. We will see you there.